The African National Congress's National Working Committee, or the NWC, will today conclude its visit to KwaZulu-Natal. The NWC is evaluating the party's performance following the May 29 elections after significant losses in the province. This weekend saw key leaders, including the President, Cyril Ramaphosa, the Secretary-General, Fikile Mbalula, and the Chairperson, Gwede Mantashe, meeting with ANC structures. For more on this, we joined on the line by the acting ANC national spokesperson, Zuko Godlimpi. A very good morning to you, Mr. Godlimpi, and welcome.
Good morning, Elvis, and good morning to your listeners. Thank you.
Now, given the ANC's significant losses in KZN during the last elections, what specific failures has the National Working Committee identified, and how will these be addressed?
Well, that's precisely why you are in KwaZulu-Natal, Elvis. It's not for us as the National Working Committee to say, oh, well, these are the failures. We needed to hear it directly from the branch executive committee leaders of the ANC on the ground. They are the ones who are carrying the election campaign in localities. They are the ones who live with these community members. They have the best feedback as to why did the electorate in KwaZulu-Natal vote in the way that they did. So yesterday we spent the whole day talking to branch executive committee members across the 11 regions of KwaZulu-Natal. I was with the president in Pietermaritzburg the whole day yesterday. And then today we are going to take reports from those regional visits and discuss them with the provincial executive committee throughout the day today, so that we have a concrete picture of what went wrong, what were the deficiencies of our elections campaign, what are the major political issues that define the landscape in KwaZulu-Natal, and do we have an organizational capability in the ANC on the ground to push back against that reality and do better as we go to the 2016 local government elections.
So those outcomes will only be determined today, I take it?
Yes, I mean, I already have a sense of what went wrong in the Pietermaritzburg region, in Moses Mapida region, but we are going to consolidate all of those reports and table them in one meeting with the provincial executive committee today from 11 o'clock till the end of the day. And then we'll have a consolidated picture of the KwaZulu-Natal situation.
Before we get to the consolidated version, what have you got right now? What are some of the key outcomes or action points from the National Working Committee's engagement with the regional branch and leadership so far in KZN?
It's really been a reconfirmation of the message that we got from the electorate when we were campaigning in KwaZulu-Natal. So one of the major issues that is coming up is that, well, the electorate has been complaining about the tendency of ANC structures to only return to them towards election season, right? So ANC structures are not organizing regular community campaigns to give feedback on service delivery issues. Branch structures seem to be inward-looking, and they are more concerned about internal machinations in the ANC. That's one. The second one is that objectively, the state of the national economy has not been helpful. And after the COVID-19 and July 21 unrest, the KZN economy has truly been decimated. Of course, the political messaging around those faults has been weaponized to suggest that it is the subjective failures of a particular leadership. But when in reality, it's a broad national problem on the economic front. The second one, it has been the major problem of service delivery weaknesses. There's been a water problem in KwaZulu-Natal for a long time. The major metropolitan centers such as eThekwini and Pietermaritzburg have been experiencing the generalized problem of transformer bursts, which has led to load reduction, even as we've dealt with load shedding. So that has to do with the problem of spatial transformation in urban settlements, where the demand of the population on existing service infrastructure outweighs the capacity of that infrastructure to withstand that pressure. So it's mainly those three broad categories: weak ANC structures, a failing national economy, and the terrible state of service delivery are the three broad categories of problems that our branch structures are communicating to us. And of course, that's the message that we had received from the electorate as well as we're campaigning towards the 29th May election. Of course, you can't then understate the effect of former President Zuma's formation of a political party, because that was then the major driver of the electorate moving that way. And the rhetoric that party was formed with the sole purpose of fixing the ANC and the tagging of particular names around it, saying there's the ANC of President Ramaphosa, then there's the ANC of President Zuma. it did create a local narrative of confusion where voters took to the polls to vote for a political party that they said represented a version of the ANC as well.
How will that narrative be reversed? Because we also understand that this visit of the NWC comes amid suggestions that it might also read the Riot Act to provincial leaders or disband the KZN Executive Committee.
No, the reports about disbandments are greatly exaggerated. It's really just pure speculation. The ANC doesn't take arbitrary decisions about how to reconstitute the structure. We only arrive at those decisions once we've tested the objective submissions of structures on the ground. For now, there's no such a decision. But just to say, dealing with a political phenomenon such as the defection of President Zuma is not a once-off initiative. For instance, we now recognize that we could have acted late in the National Disciplinary Committee process that was instituted. Maybe had we done that much earlier in the year, it could have given the ANC leverage to talk to the voters and separate former President Zuma from the ANC in categorical terms. But that has happened, but we now know that we are going to have to go on a sustained offensive to talk to the people of KwaZulu-Natal about the substantive differences between the ANC and the decisions that former President Zuma took, so that over time they get to have an appreciation that he doesn't represent the ANC. The project that is leading has nothing to do with the ANC, and that the ANC still has the capacity to talk to them and regain lost ground and build the confidence that they have lost in it and reconnect with the people on the basis of performance in local government. And the test case, of course, will be the upcoming local government elections in about 18 months.
Considering the strategic importance of KZN for the ANC, how does the national leadership plan now to support the provincial branches in reversing the decline in voter support as well as that narrative of the MK phenomenon?
The branches have already told us the sort of support that they need from us. The whole day yesterday when we spoke to them across 11 regions, they were very specific about the support systems that they require, both organizationally and politically, including in recalibrating the performance of local government authorities. So we have a clear sense now of what to do. And they've also suggested some very strict timelines about when those interventions should be rolled out. So part of what we'll be doing today in consolidating those reports is to also come up with a concrete action plan that reflects the interventions that were made by branch structures yesterday. So when we exit here and we go to the Special National Executive Committee at the end of the month, we'll have a clear idea of what to do in KwaZulu-Natal for the next 18 months.
Thank you so much for your time. Zuko Godlimpi, the acting national spokesperson for the African National Congress.
You can find SAFM Current Affairs on 104 to 107 nationwide. Our podcasts are available for download on all our digital platforms. SAFM, leading the conversation.